What's the most amount of guys that you've dated at one time? What was that?
I said 4.
And how many were you sleeping with?
2.
At the same time? 2. Have you ever gone on a date with a guy with a new guy while also having a guy that you were hooking up with?
Yeah, at the time.
That's not traditional.
I told you I changed my ways when I came to America.
Oh, wait, so in China where it's more traditional, you were dating multiple men?
No.
But now that you've come to
yeah,
the
because in
US,
America, it's like more common for females to like date multiple men at the same.
Wait, so you changed your ways. Oh, okay, so in China you were
more traditional yeah.
And now here, yet even
what she is describing is called cheating. Why is cheating what she thinks is traditional in America? Cheating is wrong no matter where you are.
Modern feminist is about teaching women that they are, in fact, weaker than men. That is exactly what it is. They dress it up in something else. Stay away from it. I'm telling you, it's toxic.
Did Linda Sarsour speak here yet, or is she going to?
Right.
She's a despicable person because here she is. She claims to be a feminist and stays completely silent on how institutional theocratical Islam is the #1 enemy of women's rights across the world. You look at Saudi Arabia. Look at Saudi Arabia.
They just got the right to drive in Saudi Arabia. Women just got the right to drive.
And she was celebrating. She was like, yay for Saudi Arabia. See, it's not that bad.
Right.
It's not that bad.
I'm so sick and tired of people using women for women. There's a difference. It's not a name or really a title. It's a state of factual being.
Attracted to women?
I wish, because men ain't shit.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
Why would you say men ain't shit?
Every single man that's ever been in my life proved that.
What's the worst lie a man ever told you?
I care about you.
What's the worst lie you ever told a man?
You're the only one.
How many other dudes was you messing with?
2 or 3.
Police! Help! Help!
There needs to be some criminal punishment attached to that level of hypocrisy. There's no way that you're gonna say all men ain't because the few men you met ain't. They ain't because they lied to you, but yet the worst thing you did was also lie to them in the exact same way.
Right.
And cheat in the exact same way.
Crazy.
Matter of fact, they only lied to you by saying they ain't love you, that they love you and they cared about you or whatever. You were straight cheating with 2 or 3 people.
Nasty.
Yo, make it make sense. It's all about you though, right?
If every man you met was a problem, maybe it's not them, maybe it's you.
Too many bodies, red flag. Outside of one hand, that's like already too much.
How many bodies do you have?
Outside of one hand.
There is something interesting going on with this generation of men. I am hearing men saying that if a woman wants a man to make X amount of money, she should be making that amount of money herself, which pretty much goes against norms that we're used to where men are the providers, they're the breadwinners in the relationship. Okay, cool, dishing out what you're asking for. But then we see videos like this where men are asking for things that they're not dishing out. Not only are men recycling the same tired talking points, there's these hypocritical standards that have no sort of logic behind it. It's giving Delulu. Argue with your mama.
Once again, I can agree with this. I don't think men should be asking for virgins or women with low body counts. If all they're looking to do is sleep with these women, make them into single mothers and use products. This is absolutely wild if you're looking for marriage or long-term relationships. Be that. Don't be out here being a player and think you're supposed to get some good girl out here.
Do you think it's okay for a woman to have a male best friend?
Of course.
So is it okay for a guy as well?
Yes, definitely. Because I've got my guys that are my best friends and I want them to have also best friends. And when I have a partner, I want them to also have good girlfriends, like best friend with girls.
How do you feel about Andrew Tate getting arrested?
I'm happy because that was needed, yeah.
Why?
Well, he's a misogynist and he's horrible. I dated somebody 4 months in 2022 that I shouldn't have dated at all. Here's my advice to people, make sure that somebody's taking initiative and planning things for you and putting forth the effort, because if you're the only one putting forth the effort, it's a one-sided relationship.
Men are only loved for how useful we are. The second you stop being useful as a man, you'll see how cruel this world is. Nobody looks at you and goes, this man has a utility. This man is good for X. If a woman comes to you and goes, I have this issue, you go, can't fix it. If that happens over and over and over and over again, she will fall out of love with you. Someone else will fix it. So she'll love someone else.
Imagine getting this triggered because someone calls you ma'am.
I'm seeing statistics, ma'am. I'm seeing statistics.
Being in control of your emotions is one of the basic signs of maturity. Tantrums are usually for toddlers.
I think
To an
the world
island,
would be
to another
better if
planet.
there was less white people.
What? I think the world would be a
Reagan,
better place with less fat people.
Whoa, okay.
I wouldn't care if like the population of white people dwindled.
When you look at a global minority, you want it to become less. So
That's
basically, you don't like minorities?
That's going a little farther.
Well, I mean, they're a global minority.
That chick straight up said the world would be better off without her.
Excuse me? Actually, it's unhoused.
Yep. That's some left-wing governance for you right there.
Statistically, it is true that Asians, right, on average, make more money, better test scores, get into better colleges, all that stuff. I think the question is, why is that? And I don't know, model minority, whatever that label wants to mean.
That's actually a myth because we cannot be...
Well, no, listen. Well, let me finish my point. We need to observe what makes people successful and unsuccessful. And I think when you look at trends that are generally true in the Asian community, not of everyone, but are generally true, usually you have families that are sticking together. You have people are taught to work hard in school, not get into trouble. I think that translates to why Asians en masse are successful. And I don't think you have to be Asian or white for that matter to not have kids out of wedlock, not, commit crime, not cause trouble or whatever it is. It's just a matter of common sense. That's what makes people successful. And if
the dude says, work hard, study, and stay out of trouble, and everyone got offended. That's all I need to know about them.
There's not really a space for bad apples in the police department. There's really, just like it's not appropriate for pilots to be a bad apple. You know?
There have been bad apples in pilots. There have been bad apples
very quickly
in doctors.
There have. But you got to root them out quickly.
Yeah. You know what I do support? I support retraining all the cops.
Okay, so that's going to require more money. How does that equate to defunding or taking away funding?
I think it needs to. It's a complicated question.
You need minorities in senior positions and all police departments across the country. That's something that the police union is not ready to approach, though.
So where George Floyd was killed, Minneapolis, city council is 1/3 black. The police.
The last guy's argument was blame the white man, even when he's black.
When the Taliban can use our social media, but an ex-president can't, there is something wrong with it.
Did the Taliban violate community guidelines?
Doesn't matter.
I think it matters to Twitter what their community guidelines are. That's why they banned Trump. Trump violated community guidelines. That's what every platform has.
The Taliban stones people because they're gay.
If they've done that and they've posted videos of stoning gay people, I agree they should be removed, and that is fundamentally wrong. No,
The problem is they're smart enough to not do that.
I'm an American and I have to vote between this person and this person. I need equal access to both of them to decide what's right. Bro, you could be a Klansman, you could say you hate black people. That's not my job to police your language. I can't expect everybody to love me and think the way I think. All y'all think different of me, that's totally dope. But the fact that you want...
To these kids, if it didn't happen on Twitter, it didn't happen.
And you know that's like an ignorant way to stand, right? Like,
why?
You're over here, I tell you...
I'm actually half handicapped, so that's very offensive that you said that.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I can probably tell
I'm
that
super
you're
offended, actually.
Yeah. So lying and being a high conflict is part of your personality disorder. Why are you looking at women with your fucking eyes?
Are you a woman?
Why are you looking at women with your eyes? I tried looking at them with my feet and it didn't work. Next question.
I get nervous around woke people, which is weird because I look like their leader, like... And I try to be aware, but I'm a hustler. Like, when people ask me my pronouns, this is what I've been saying. I've been going, oh, well, if it's time to get paid, he, him. If it's time to pay, she, her. And if it's time to apply for a grant, they, them, Native American. It is what it is.
Looking at the way she does, she could pull it off either way, to be honest.
Yeah, you're here. Yep. But I'll tell you what, at that show, the woman got offended. One of the students, she came up. Wait, I just called her a she. Hold on. I'm not a biologist. Hold on. They all came up at the same time. Because it was one person. And they looked me in the eye and they go, that was extremely rude what you did up there. And I go, what happened? I just said hi. She goes, where's the LGBTQ students? I go, that was nothing. She goes, it's LGBTQIAA+, you idiot. And then she stormed off. Yeah, I was like, wait, I didn't know they did an update. Did you guys know they did an update? No. If you did, that's cool. That you're like an iPhone 16. You're updated. I'm a little older. I'm an iPhone 7. I'm not quite there. iPhone 7 used to be good. It's not as good anymore, but don't hate on the iPhone 7, all right? It had its time. So she was mad at me because I wasn't updated. I had to go home and Google it so I don't offend other students. I go, what's LGBTQIAA+? And the more you Google that stuff, the more the advertisements start changing on your computer. My suggested items are completely different than they were last year. We think you'd like this. I'm like, oh my God, add to cart. We'll see. Yeah. Christmas is gonna look a lot different for the family this year. Let me tell you that. I can tell you that right now. Yep. So now I looked it up, and now I know what it is, and what I want to do is educate all of us so we can all be woke together. Isn't that a good idea? We could all get updated right now. Yeah. We all know LGBTQ, but what's I? Who knows I? You know I?
It's a freaking shame that people can't make fun of themselves anymore. Thank you, Kevon, for helping to keep comedy alive.
Intergalactic. Like, yeah, forget you Earthlings. I want to go up there, see what's up. How many guys here would sleep with a hot alien? Be real. You thought about it, right? I'm talking about up there alien, not down here, not the south, not Mexico. I'm talking about no, Arizona. Listen, aliens, outer space. That's. Just want to clarify. All right. Of course, man. Aliens are hot, so I'm already one of the new letters. I'm I. All right. LGBTQIA. What's the A? Anyone know? Asexual. I looked it up. Someone who has sex with themselves. I'm like, the whole pandemic, that was me too. I'm knocking it out, man. I'm a hella minority over here. I didn't even... I'm doubled up. I'm killing it. That was badass. The second A is ally. That one didn't make sense to me. Friends with all the other letters. I'm like, oh, hell no. We're over here doing all this hard work, and you're like, I'm with them. No, get your dick in the game and join us if you want to be part of this minority group. You can't just be like, I'm with them. Hell no, right? And plus means to be continued. There's gonna be more coming soon. I had one lady after a show, she goes, you didn't mention me, I'm pansexual. I'm like, all right, well, I'm in a deep dish, but we can work something out. We'll go get a thin crust, we'll talk about it, right? I'm just saying, if there's too many letters, they're gonna have to make a whole song. That way you could get them, you know? Because, yeah, you're gonna have to learn your gay BCs. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That way we remember every letter. I feel bad for older people, like my father's generation. He's 78 years old. You think he's gonna know what's LGBTQIAA+? Are you kidding me? He only had 3 letters his whole life that covered everybody. F-A-G. That's all he had. Y'all don't remember those letters. I was performing at a college. Now, colleges are notoriously fun. At least they used to be. College kids used to party, right? Cruise ships used to be boring. Old people who are conservative, they're not gonna laugh. College kids used to, everything has changed. Now the cruise ship people are like, make me laugh, I'm ready, yeah! And college kids are like, I'm ready to protest, I just don't know why yet. Should we protest now or wait till later? They're ready, they don't even know what to, they have the sign ready, they're just, what are we writing on this today? Chick-fil-A? Are we doing Chick-fil-A? Are we protesting? Top Gun, what should we protest? We gotta protest something. They don't have fun, it's crazy, man, it's crazy. So here's what happened. I get to the college and the student advisor is the lady in charge. She goes, just so you know, we did not have a good experience with our last comedian and we wanna make sure that you understand, this is the student safe space. This is, yeah, we don't want to trigger them. So all we ask is you don't talk about race, religion, politics, gender, sexuality, and don't make direct eye contact with them. Other than that, say whatever you want. We're really big into freedom of speech on this campus. I'm like, are you though? Really? Are you? I'm like, race, religion, politics, sexuality. I'm like, what am I gonna talk about? It was out of control. So I said, what if I just say hi to them for an hour and get paid? She's like, that'd be great. She didn't even want comedy, she just wanted me to be just up there. So I just did, I came out strong. Where's all the freshmen at? They're like, yeah! Where's all the sophomores? Juniors. I looked at my watch, 59 more minutes to go. I did not time that right. Then I started saying, where's all the white people at? Where's the black people at? Latinos, Persians, Asians.
Finally, a comedian who has the courage to make fun of the woke culture destroying America. Kudos to you, sir. I really enjoyed watching this video.
It's funny, people don't even know my politics based on my appearance, right? Like, I could be a barista at a fancy cafe or the leader of QAnon and nobody knows. How great is that? The far left and the far right have come so far they just look exactly the same. What if we get into a civil war? How are we even gonna know who's on what side? Each side is gonna have to have like their own like very obscure questions only one side would know, right? Like some far left guy sees a guy who looks just like him. It's like, hey, put the gun, you on our side? You a lefty? Yeah? What's a macchiato? Oh, I know. It's a small fox. God damn it. What are your preferred pronouns? He, ha, who, what, when, where, why, beep, bop. God damn. The far right, they'd have their questions too, right? Hey, put the gun down. No, their guns would be way bigger. Who am I kidding? Put the gun down. Put it down. I got 6 billion rounds. Answer me this. What's the best knife to use to skin a deer? Yeah, I really don't believe in eating man. Did I get him?
What is a woman? It would be an easy way to differentiate.
Should trans women be included in feminist conversations? How about in women's spaces?
Yes, they're women. What's the question? Trans women are women.
So I want to come at this from the position of an athlete.
Oh, Jesus.
So I play semi-pro basketball, semi-pro volleyball. So when it comes to athletic spaces, I don't think that trans women should be allowed into athletic spaces. As female athletes, we work so incredibly hard for the little opportunity there is in women's sports.
Would this be a barrier for you?
There's no barrier. There's less opportunity in some industries.
That's what a barrier is.
There's less. And so it's like you're going to take the little opportunity that we're given. And the problem is we can't compete. We can't. Like, I'm 6 foot. If I go up against a 6 foot guy and I play basketball with him, he's going to body me.
Have you tried
How many trans women are playing semi-volleyball and basketball?
My name is Lindsey Graham, and I am a cat. Meow, meow. I'm not a woman dressed as a cat. I am a cat. By show of hands, I'm curious, how many of you believe and confess that I'm a cat? No one. You are right. Why? Because you are not stupid, and these children are not stupid. One look at me, and you know this to be true. I am a woman posing as a cat. You may also think correctly that if I truly believe I'm a cat, I have a mental disorder. If I suffer from a mental disorder, and if I am unable to discern reality, am I safe to be around children? Would you put me in charge of making critical decisions about the safety and well-being of children? And about the direction of their—
Time to exercise our unalienable rights.
I was at school, I had a girl who identified as a horse, but not in this sort of like problematic way that we're now labelling it. She didn't actually think she was a horse. She was just quite strange and walked around and, you know.
But nobody in the school then, no teachers would have tolerated that in the way that this is now having to be tolerated.
No teacher would have tolerated bullying of that child, and that's what this teacher in Sussex has done. They've said it's not acceptable for boys in that class to take the mickey out of someone who's obviously clearly just a child and for exploring their imagination.
Who says they're a cat? He's actually interfering with the lessons by talking in cat language, including meowing, and if people don't go along with this, refusing to cooperate.
Yeah.
That is not just having a bit of fun being a cat. That is actually assuming the identity of an animal that this person is not, and then insisting everybody else conform to it.
You know that less than 10% of rapes are actually reported.
Okay, where's that?
To the cops.
Where's that?
It's from all of the women's organizations. You can look it up online. You can find it through the socialized organizations that study rape. I participate with an organization that works as a rape crisis center. We base that on the number of calls. The police know, based on the unofficial reports, the third-party reporting, and the direct reports. This is not a secret that about 10% of rapes are reported.
So how do you know 10% of rapes are reported if the others aren't?
Because those people call the women's centers, they ask for help, they seek medical attention.
So they are reported.
I do agree that there is stigma that I have to deal with because I am fat,
but I'm actually really in celebration of my body. I find beauty in diversity. I think we come in all shapes and sizes. And the assumption that we've dealt with a lot on this show is that just because you're obese, you must overeat. You must have an eating disorder. I know that not to be the case. I know you can have a healthy relationship.
Now, Mimi, you say this is misleading. Go have at it a little bit.
Well, I certainly think that we all want to feel good about ourselves. That's understandable. I don't think people should feel demeaned by their size. And I also couldn't agree more with the message of daily exercise. No matter what size you are, you'll certainly benefit from daily exercise. You can't be healthy without that. But then let's talk about where we disagree. Look, if you want to feel good about yourself, it's impossible to feel good about yourself when you're doing something that's self-destructive. Also, self-destructive behaviors that result in damage or debilitation or even disfigurement to the body, that's never going to be perceived as beautiful.
The thing is that I think that the Hayes approach, the health at every size approach, has been documented to work. And it's been documented to work year after year.
What do you mean work? What do you mean work? Because a health at every size is a lie. If you starve yourself into damage, that's unhealthy. Or if you eat yourself into damage, that's not healthy.
You're making a lot of assumptions.
That's just not.
Here,
that's not true.
You're making a lot of assumptions.
That's like saying
about
that.
Weight
let's
being
say you were a
self-destructive.
smoker. Let's say you're a smoker and have black lungs, and you try to say that's healthy because you don't have cancer yet. We know that it is actually factual that obesity is dangerous, and it's connected to cancer, stroke, Alzheimer's. We even know it's connected to an increase in birth defects. So there's nothing left to debate.
Mimi?
It's not beautiful. It's not healthy.
Well, you know, $15 an hour, first of all, as we said, it's not enough of a wage, but it is a substantial improvement, and this is what workers have put forward. Fast food workers themselves courageously took their lives into their own hands, walked out of their jobs in a one-day strike in New York City, and demanded $15 an hour. And that is the first step, because the economy is not going to remain static. We have to fight for affordable housing. We have to fight for better services in terms of mass transit, education, healthcare, and that is why we have to also talk about taxing the super wealthy and big corporations.
Well, I mean, of course, one government policy leads to the next. If you raise the minimum wage, then it's going to raise the rents. When it raises the rents, you're going to have to build affordable housing. When you have to build affordable housing, you have to tax people to build the affordable housing. When you tax people to build the affordable housing, people move out of the city, and you have to raise taxes on the people who remain.
Notice how plus-size women get to be called plus-sized, but men are called fat. My home slice should be called large king.
Should trans women be able to play in women's sports?
Oh, wow. You hit me with that one.
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate that everybody should have access to sport.
So men
I genuinely
can say, I want to play, I'm not getting in the team at Burnley or Chelsea or Tottenham, but I actually identify as a woman now. They're going to take the place of an actual woman.
Well, this take the place argument, I mean...
In America, there are loads of people who lost scholarships because, like swimming scholarships, for example, because
yeah,
Leah Thomas...
think it's... You shouldn't pick on someone who's trans just because, you know, they have taken someone else's spot. That's just sport, right?
Imagine, tell me if I'm wrong, but you wouldn't even be in the first, 5 divisions, would you?
Oh, that's a bit...
Well, I just remember
I
think it was Serena Williams who said, I wouldn't be in the first 300 of the men's.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's her opinion of her own ability. But I played with boys up until the age of 14, and I was better than a lot of them.
Yeah, but you weren't playing with...
She doesn't have the guts to say it, but she's willing to have teammates that do. In today's video, we explore a shocking incident where Wokies picked a fight with the wrong person. Tensions escalated quickly, leading to unexpected confrontations and chaos. This serves as a reminder that actions have consequences. Stay tuned for more insights, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.